Hello everyone, welcome back to Joy's Creative Finger. Today I have built a furniture store in my town, and I went all out trying to make sure that the front of this store looked very attractive and appealing to passers-by or simmers-by. So I have used again some of the items that you already recognize in the game and have created shop front windows, which is quite nice, since this is actually a store, you know. So when you walk by, you get to see some of the items that possibly you would purchase within the store. Now, I've also taken the liberty of making the building look as pretty as possible. This is something that has become a favorite thing of mine, to go on and splash out with lights and different items and morphing them into different uses, you know. I also wanted to make the building have some kind of character in some way. I know it's a commercial building, but it doesn't mean that we can't make it look nice on the outside. Now you can see that I still have some shop front or shop side windows with furniture on display, and I have an entrance from the back as well. Now, I'm not quite sure how this entrance would work, but in London, some of the department stores have exits from the back and exits from the front, so you could come into a store from any one of these entrances, as it were. So that's why I decided to do that, to keep some kind of interest to the back. And on the side here as well, I have some displayed items, and these are some of the things you can expect to see within this furniture store. And again, one of the last things that I had done just before airing this video was change the patio paving choice down below, making it black, and it caused the entire build to just pop out of the plot. That was really nice. As you come into the entrance of this furniture store, it's an open plan space as you would expect in a commercial building. I have a few ottomans on display. There are other colors in the game, but I've chosen these 4 options because I like the color. And right behind the display of ottomans is the checkout tills here. I have a staff member who has the use of 2 tills to serve on either side of this desk. So of course you know these are TVs, but we use them as tills in the game. And I have this staff member who's busy thinking about his lunch. He would also serve from either of those tills. Now, one interesting thing about this checkout till area is that I've got these 2 chandeliers hanging from those support bars and they're not glitched or anything. Try it out, just place them on there and they would just stick in place, and I thought that was quite nice for the checkout tills. It's right in the center of this arrangement. Now over here I have a display of chairs, and I've already put them together in a manner that you would expect to set it out in your own Sims homes, and that's of course if you like this arrangement. You can see that it has a black backdrop, so it's sort of like an idea for setting out your own living room with color ideas and arrangement ideas. And out back here we have the same display for passers-by to see what's going to be on the inside, as I mentioned earlier before. Now across the way we have another arrangement of seats, and you will notice that there are some unique items that probably some of you already have, and I'm referring to the rug and the round table in the middle. I got that table from purchasing an Architect Home tab home, and I picked it out and I absolutely love it. The chocolate tone of it is just beautiful, and these rugs I found in another Architect Home. It's completely different, but it's a perfect match for the cushions on the seats, and I thought it was a perfect arrangement here. Now this seat on the outside, on the reverse, are the seats that you will get from downloading one of the homes on the penthouse plots in the city. That's if you've unlocked the city, and this is the 3-seater version of that. But on the inside you have unique ones which you have to purchase with real cash. Now as we move on along, I have a grand piano display here, so you have to assume that in this store you can purchase the red piano, perhaps a white one, but of course only the black one's on display, you know. And believe me, there's no such thing, but you just have to imagine. Now I also thought that I'd put a candelabra standing there, and also I wanted to have a fireplace displayed on the outside on the reverse, because the idea is that you would sit by the fire, listen to some music, and so on and so forth. But anyway, across the way here we have another living room arrangement, which is the Paradise collection. It's one of the collections that's one of my favorites, but it's quite hard to use in a home, and so I thought I'd throw something together here that is completely different and unorthodox. You have pink splashing around with green, and I mean, it just looks like something out of a colorful book. But yes, I really love the wallpaper as well. I'll show you what it looks like out here, and that's basically the complete collection, but that lamp is not part of it. However, I thought that the lamp would go brilliantly if you chose to set out this sort of display in your Sims home. Now that's the general overview for the ground floor. For the store, we have the seating room sofas in this space here, and I think the 4 sections were more than enough. As we go upstairs, we come through to the bedrooms. So this is where you would come and a specialist would see you, talk about what kind of mattress you would need, style of bed, size, and so on and so forth. But what you see at the front here when you come up the stairs is a door that leads to absolutely nowhere. Now when you go into some of these stores, they tend to decorate the area so you can have an idea of what a room would look like, but in actual use they are useless. So there will be curtains against a brick wall and so on and so forth, just to decorate the area so you can see what your bed would look like in the space, and you can go on and purchase different items that you saw put together in the display that you had seen already. This is a teen bedroom, for instance, and I love this teen bedroom. A teen bedroom doesn't necessarily have to have all these phony pictures on the wall. It could be chic, it could be beautiful, it could be elegant, and I think we need to give it to our teens that they could also live in a much mature looking space. Well, across the way we have the French collection that you've already seen in the game. For those of you who have just completed the event, you would have hopefully unlocked these items, but this grey dresser is not in that collection that you win when you complete the French Chateau event. You have to purchase that one with real cash. So what you would see is that I've tried to pull in some of the unique items into this furniture store so you can see what they look like alongside the furniture that we already have. And this over here is the Scandinavian collection. Yes, I'm right. You know, it's interesting. I went to a store the other day and I was with my daughter and I wanted to purchase some food, and I asked them, I said, what's that in the plate? And the person selling didn't even know what it was. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Why am I saying that? I was stuttering away trying to explain what room that was, and I couldn't figure out that it was the Scandinavian. Anyway, this is the romantic room. It's got the splashes of red, the deep blacks, and there are rose petals all around. This is my idea of rose petals anyway. They look like bouquets, but hey, these will have to do. And perhaps you're thinking of redecorating your bedroom for maybe a wedding night or a Valentine's week. That would be your option. And over here is one of my favorite rooms as well. This bed is a favorite of mine, and I wish it was in different colors, but it's from the Wizard Cottage. It's sturdy, it looks fantastic, and I thought that these fairy lights, I think they are, look beautiful behind them. So if you were going to throw a room together and was wondering how to make use of this bed, I think this is a good idea. And having the unicorn picture on the wall sort of pulls in that purple as well. Now I also have the old French bed that we've had in the game for a long time displayed here, and these new flowers just recently came out in the game, and I purchased those as well with my free vouchers. And it's beautiful. I mean, you can see it's a perfect fit for the bedding on that bed. So that completes the entire display for beds in this store. Now we're going to go upstairs and follow this beautiful sim up the escalators, not stairs, I beg your pardon. And this is the kitchens section. Now of course you have to remember this is on a standard plot, so I don't have so many things on display, but I've chosen to put the one stove that I think is the best in the game right now. So this is where I would be displaying any new stove that comes into the game. It'll be on that stand, and any new kitchens that come into the game will be displayed in the space around here. I've got a few Sims who are sitting around here, and you would expect they would be women. trying to test out the dining tables and so on and so forth. But these are some of the displays that I have in place for kitchens. You can come in here and speak to a specialist as well, and they would discuss what kind of door handles you want, cupboard handles, and so on and so forth. And there are some other unique dining tables dotted around here and there. This is the one from the French Chateau. This particular kitchen arrangement here is from the French Chateau. And again, there are some unique items like these stools. They are new in the game. But this table here is one of my favorites. It's from the Latin collection because of the detail. I think it's just beautiful. You've got 3 fruits on there. And this paradise plant is a perfect match for that unit. I think it's brilliant. And this, of course, is the Latin kitchen. Again, I displayed this one because of the detail, the peppers, the garlics, and so on. I think it's just fabulous. And that's what I have displayed here for the kitchen. So anytime there's a new kitchen in the game, I would come into this store and update it, and perhaps do a little video on what's new in the game or what I've purchased from the store with real cash using my free vouchers. The last section for this store is the fireplaces. Now, initially I was going to place offices up here, and you can do that if you choose to build this store in your town. You could make this an office, or you can make it a little apartment, a really cute self-contained apartment for the owner of this plot. This is my favorite fireplace in this space, and you've got the French one and some of the ones we already have in the game, and I think it's really beautiful. And then around back here I have another fireplace that is one of my favorites, and it's this huge one that I purchased as well, and that's for real cash again in the game. Now this fireplace, I just realized, has 4 interactions, which is great. Or 3 interactions actually. You can obviously turn off, you can stare at the flame, get warm, or ponder. I think that's brilliant, and that's the only fireplace that does that in the game. So it's my little review for you. So I've just gotten her to stare at the flame. I thought she was quite close to the flame. At this point she should have been ignited and her hair should have been set alight. But yeah, the next thing I'm going to get her to do, and that's Barbie by the way, is get warm. So that's quite nice. I think it's quite inappropriate that she's in the store and just decides to get cozy on the floor. I think that would be quite something to see. But anyway, this is just for your eyes only. Now I'm going to get her to ponder. I think this is a more preferred position for me anyway. But of course, if I was at home, I would just lay by the fire, which is great. But this is what you can do with this fireplace, and I think it's fantastic. It's just really beautiful. I really wish that the other fireplaces had the same interactions. Finally, in this build, we have a couple of restrooms, one for men, one for women, but you must realize that most commercial buildings don't have public toilets for customers. But I thought I'd stick a couple of units in here just because your Sims might visit and you might want to get them to relieve themselves so they can stay inspired. Now this completes the tour for this particular store, and it's a structure that I would revisit every now and again when new items come in the game. So if there's a new collection of dining tables, I will display them on this floor and put up a video. If there are new beds, I would redecorate the area and display it on the channel again, and so on. So this is actually my furniture store, and it will feature on the channel every now and again when there are new items in the game, and I will recreate different looks and different ideas in here for you all to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.